Are we going to get the start? Let's race it on in a to the first corner. Antonelli holds on. Kamara in a second. No problems at all as they creep through. Then it is Severukin and Yannick de Brabander's going to try and hold on to fourth from Gilter, but Gilter gets there first. So Gilter into fourth. Kamara into second. Spin in the middle of the field. That's Valtonen. Valtonen's gone. Valtonen in the middle of the pack has spun it away. And it's an absolute disaster for the SP Motorsport driver. Rafael Modenese with damage as well. He's off the course, but Juho Valtonen is desperately trying to get the car started again. So as Modenese gets out, Valtonen tries to get going, but it's disaster for the Finn.
Yeah, that's not the best start that you want from Valtonen in the 107. You just got caught out in the squabble. There's de Brabander. He's leading from the 134 and 108. The silver helmet, you can't miss it. Hugo Uchukwu in the lead. Who is it? You couldn't guess it. Antonelli from Kamara and Severukin.
No worries at all for Kimi Antonelli. He is out in force, doing an incredible job, and it's been a spectacular display, that is for sure. So far, so good. Lap 2 of 25. It's going to take a while for this one to play out, but Kamara and Severukin are running well in second and third. A great squabble as they come down the hill up towards the left-hander into the second sector, and drivers are pushing their weight around, trying to make overtaking moves as they come through all the way. But this is a very tough race battle for the drivers as they continue to push on through. Retirements for Modenese and Valtonen, despite the fact that Valtonen did get going again. He's had to pull the kart off the road, so Valtonen unfortunately out of the race. Yellow flags down at the far end of the course where his kart has parked. Antonelli just 4/10 clear of Kamara, but he's not pulling away. The Brazilian is giving it everything to try and get past him.
Yeah, only 4/10 separating Antonelli and Kamara. Kamara, he's waited until the final, and now he's given it everything he's got. He's pushing the car to the absolute limit, which is the same for some other drivers. You see dust being kicked up left, right, and centre. Drivers exercising the track limits and pushing these karts to the limit.
Yeah, big slide on the grass from Emilio Koivisto, the Finn. He was the one who kicked up the grass there. Solov, I can't make an overtaking move yet, he thinks. I'm going to have to sit behind Eduardo Villa and wait for an opportunity. Two drivers that were fighting for the podium last time. They're 17th and 18th this time. That is how tough it is in the FIA Karting European Championship Trophy. That's two karts that have gone there together. That's a Parolin, and that is Alfio Spina, and he's gone with Caspian Hagman. Oh, what a bitter end to his first OK Senior European final. He was doing a great job all weekend. There's Gilter, makes the bid on Severukin, and into third position. He will try and put the French flag on the podium on home soil. Evan Gilter going beautifully as Hugo Uchukwu sets the pace. Oh, and that's Elkin. That's Ariel Elkin, the Israeli. So I'm afraid Ariel Elkin has gone off the road there, and that is such a... Oh, sorry, no, that's Hugo Besson. That's his teammate. That is Hugo Besson. I apologise. Besson having gone off there on the exit of turn 2. There's Modenese's stranded Praga. But Hugo Besson is unfortunately not going to make it to the flag for the French locals. Kamara now within 3/10 of Antonelli. Here we go. Game on.
Kamara really pushing the kart as hard as he can. You can see Antonelli still out in the lead, driving like he normally would. He is trying his best, but it's just not quite enough. Kamara, fastest lap of the race, 46.834. This is great pace there from the Brazilian. Will he be able to take the fight to Antonelli? I guess we'll have to wait and see. 20 laps to go.
This is not just the battle for the final here at Ornay-le-Bois. This is the battle for the European Championship between the two top competitors in the championship table if it stays like this. Kamara will be leading on 62 points. Antonelli will be second on 44. Arvid Lindblad trying to be part of that. He's on 41 points if it stays like this, but he needs to make progress, Arvid Lindblad. Still looking at third position in the Drivers' Championship if he remains in the top 10, but he needs to score more solidly than this. He can kind of write off Ornay-le-Bois the way things are currently looking. He's going to have to get it back together in time for Sarno and Vuera, but because you can drop your worst qualifying performance and you can drop your worst final, Lindblad's still a title factor, and he proves it with the fastest lap. 46.6 for the Brit in 8th.
Yeah, Lindblad has not had the best starts to the race. He's dropped down to 8th position. That's not really what you want, especially when you're in within a chance of the title fight. You need consistent points. You need consistent finishes throughout the whole season. 4 rounds is this championship, and every single one counts. Antonelli leading by 6/10. Kamara not far behind. He will still be within a chance of winning this race, but Antonelli, he's got a bit of breathing room now.
Here is Antonelli, a little bit more dust kicked up as they come through that time by. I think the driver's just pushing a little bit too far over the edge of turn 1 as Yuga Chukwu makes his bid and gets past Stenshorn. So he's now trying to chase after Yannick Debrabanda in 6th position. So this is an interesting battle. This is Lindblad now closing up on Yuga Chukwu. And is Lindblad going to make his bid up towards the final sector? This is 2 drivers, both in a Formula 1 program, and they're side by side, and Lindblad gets the move before they even get to the braking point. Amazing from Lindblad. He just got a better exit, and Lindblad is storming his way back through the pack. Now we've got a race on our hands from Lindblad as he tries to chase after the top 6.
Yeah, great move there from Lindblad, taking every opportunity that he gets. You saw Yuga Chukwu just lift off the throttle a little bit to let his teammate pass. He clearly acknowledges that Lindblad is the quicker of the drivers, and who's that off there? That looks like that is Sato. That's Sato off in the RFM. You can see just cutting across the grass, the car bouncing up and down. As we see now the drivers going through our frames. That's the 131 of Gilter. Gilter in 3rd position. He's the home hero, as some may say. He's doing a great job on the podium right now, but Savrukin, the driver that he passed earlier, not giving it up.
Gilter is doing a fantastic job here in 3rd position. He wants to put some French interest on the podium, and a great run in 3rd place. Antonelli and Kamara still separated by a few tenths of a second. It's now up to 8 tenths of a second as they come through. So Antonelli doing the best he can to get away from Kamara. But this is nothing in it between these 2 drivers, and they are still pushing hard. Now, a little further back, we've got Ruben Moya there in 12th, in front of Kucharczyk, Solov, Del Pino, Koivisto, and I think that's Eduardo Villa. But what a fight back from Ruben Moya. He is up 15 places. He was 27th on the grid. Oh, and a spin! Solov going into the barriers! Oh, Solov, he just got the mistake there off the curb, and he just gets chucked out of the race. Oh, what an unfortunate incident for Nicolas Solov. He just got one wheel on the grass, and it spat him out of the game.
Solov is such a shame. He had an incident yesterday in one of his heats, and unfortunately history has repeated himself. Solov makes a mistake off into the barrier, and that does look like that will be Solov done for the race. The marshal pulls the car off the track. Solov, he walks off in defeat. Antonelli, he's really started to pick up the pace now with 2nd separating the top 2.
This could have been a victory for Nicolas Solov this weekend. He easily could have been on the top step of the podium here, and it's such a disaster for the Bulgarian. He could so easily have been the man on the top step. But the weekend got away from him. It started last night in the red flag race when he couldn't restart. He could have been in the top 3 of the grid very easily, and that could have been an opportunity. But now Solov will have to rebuild, regroup, drop this round, and make his way to Sarno, where he could be strong again. He's not out of this European title fight yet. It's going to be very exciting and very interesting to see what he can do, but he's definitely going to have to work hard for it. Now, oh, that's Turney! That's Joe Turney off! My goodness, Joe Turney has had a moment, and that's on the final sector. He now rejoins way down the order. Joe Turney in 28th out of the 29 runners still going around the circuit, make that 30. But Joe Turney out of luck this time as he goes off the road. You can see drivers really pushing the limits and getting spat out. We're only on lap 11 of 25, and some of the big names are starting to crumble.
Turney, that's such a shame to see from the Brit. We were talking to him earlier on in the day. It was actually at the start of the day. He was hopeful for the races that he had later on, and unfortunately it hasn't quite gone his way. 1.6. This is the Antonelli that we know. 1.6 seconds separating, and talking about separating, Lindblad goes past Debrabanda. Debrabanda falls victim to Lindblad's charge.
So Lindblad is bouncing back. He has time to get to the podium. He's got 14 laps still to do something about the guys in front. So Lindblad is charging forward. He clearly feels more comfortable and more smooth on the kart than he has over the recent races in the weekend, and he is now up to P6. Lindblad is only a second away from Stenshorn, in fact not even, so there's still a good chance for Lindblad to work his way to the podium, because Gilter, Savrukin and Stenshorn are very close together in their fight for 3rd position. Here they come around the final bend and up and over the crest. Kamara still trying to stay in touch with Antonelli, but the Italian is just blitzing away. He was clearly just looking after the tyres, and now he's able to unlock that vapid pace and just disappear out in front. Stenshorn on the move on the inside of Artem Savrukin, gets through to 4th position, and that's going to be ammunition for Lindblad. Here I come, boys.
Lindblad on the back of this battle now. The 105 will soon fall victim to the Car Republic behind him. But Antonelli, you saw Kamara staying on with him for a couple of laps. But now we're in the latter stages of the races. Antonelli has found something different. Who's that up the inside? That's Saarbrücken. Lindblad follows through. Stenchel drops 2 positions. Will Debrabanda be able to do anything about it? No, he won't. He sticks in behind Stenchel. Stenchel manages to shut the door at the perfect time. But Lindblad, now he's after Saarbrücken.
Killer instinct from Lindblad. He saw a gap, went for it, absolutely storming up the inside. No guarantee that Stenchel was going to shut the door on him there or not. But Lindblad decisive. I've got to make my progress. I've got to work my way through the field. Debrabanda going wheel to wheel there with Stenchel as Debrabanda is still trying to get one over on the Norwegian. But Lindblad is setting up the move here on Artem Saarbrücken. You can expect to see it as they come up towards the left-hander this time. Warren Kim gets a warning flag. Here comes Lindblad. Unlocks the move. Excellent slingshot, and he gets into 4th place. Just one more kart, and he's on the podium again.
Lindblad doing a great job at making his way through the field. He's slicing through them like it's an easy thing to do. But Lindblad, I'm guessing that's what he's good at. The 102 on an absolute charge right now. Ahead of him is Gilter. The French promise of the podium is slowly coming to a fade as Lindblad starts to arrive on the back of Gilter. Gilter, he checks behind him. He sees a new face, and that's a worry.
And you know what this means for Lindblad? It puts him back into 2nd in the Drivers' Championship, 2 points ahead of Antonelli, even if the Italian wins the race. So for Lindblad's point of view, this is the best tonic to his difficult weekend. He is fighting his way back into contention. Now Debrabanda closing up on Stenchel, Yugachukwu closing up on both of them as they go through the left, through the right, and then they'll come up the crest once again. Antonelli, 2.5 seconds clear of Rafael Chavez Kamara. Gilter running 1 in 3rd. Here comes Lindblad. He's not going to wait around. He's not going to hang about for this. He's going to go for 3rd at the first opportunity. 10 to go.
Lindblad absolutely flying on the field, and who's that off? That's the 140. That's a shame to see him off the track. The 140, that looks like it may be. That is Warren Kim. Looks like that's Warren Kim out the way, but talking about out the way, Lindblad, you can see knocking on the door of Gilter. He's looking for that podium. That 3rd step is his, and if Lindblad keeps up the pace, he might even be contention for 2nd position on the grid up the inside. Lindblad, he makes it look so easy. Effortless overtake as he makes his way past Gilter.
3rd position now in the offing for Lindblad, and that's definitely getting his title attack back on track. And he's now going to be a point off, well, it's going to be several points now ahead of Antonelli. He will only be 13 behind Rafael Kamara. If he's got time to catch and pass him, then this European Championship fight is a 3-horse race, and it's definitely looking strong for Lindblad. He's still got 2.3 seconds to make up on Rafael Kamara, but his lap times have consistently been 1/4 second a lap quicker than the Brazilian. So Rafael Chavez Kamara is not safe and sound in 2nd place by a long shot. There's still 9 laps to go, and for Arvid Lindblad, he will never have been more determined to get into 2nd place, to keep his European title hopes alive, and to show to everybody he's the man for the job.
Yeah, Lindblad, he definitely didn't have a good start, but he's changing his fortunes around. Antonelli, 3 seconds over the rest of the field. Great drive from him right now.
Yeah, he's extending that gap to 3 seconds. Clearly Antonelli was sandbagging in the early stages, just looking after the tyres and thinking, right, are you sure you can catch me, Rafael? Let me prove you wrong. Engage ignition and throttle. Boom, I'm gone.
Yeah, Antonelli, an outstanding driver all weekend. No one has been able to get near the driver, apart from the early stages of the race where Kamara was able to get within a couple of attempts of him. Antonelli has denied him any hopes and dreams of getting the win here in SA. But we see Antonelli go over the crest now and across the line. 18 laps completed on his 19th right now. Kamara 3.4 seconds behind. The gap is ever extending.
And it's shrinking between Kamara and Lindblad. Lindblad has closed that gap down to 2 seconds. If Lindblad can look after tyres a little better over the last 7 laps and close in to the Brazilian, we may get a last lap scrap between these two, and they can't afford to hit each other because they know how strong Antonelli is here and how strong he's likely to be at Sano and Duera, two circuits he knows and loves. So this is definitely going to be a tough one for Lindblad and Kamara. They're going to have to accept their fate in second position. I'm astonished at Antonelli's pace. He's in the 46.5s. Everyone else is in the 46.7s, 8s and 9s. Antonelli just storming away up front. He has been the class of the field. Here's the battle for fourth place. Gilter versus Sevrukin, Stenshorn, and then the Brabanda. Watch for Sevrukin into turn 2. Is this going to be a move for position? No, Gilter is able to extend a little bit there through turn 1. Superior knowledge of this circuit counting in Gilter's favour.
Yes, Sevrukin arriving on the back of Gilter. These two drivers, we saw them battling earlier, and it looks like Sevrukin, he's came back for something else, and he's came back for that position as well. You can see the white helmet of the French promise, the home hero of Gilter, as he's currently in fourth position. The podium hope slowly fading away as Arvid Lindblad is extending that gap between them, but shortening the gap between him and Kamara. And it looks like Sevrukin, he has Stenshorn de Brabanda to worry about as well.
1.5 seconds now between Kamara and Lindblad. It's a question of when will he catch Kamara, not if. There's 5 laps to go, and Lindblad has already done a quarter of the work in the closing stages. Kamara's tyres look like they may fade dramatically. Lindblad has got to try and keep a lid on himself. He doesn't want to push too hard too soon because he's got to make sure he does actually catch Kamara rather than burn out the tyres, because he's got to push, but he's also got to conserve. It's a long race. There's 25 laps of the circuit, and you've got 5 to go, including this one. Now, the Brabanda has caught right up to the back of Stenshorn. Stenshorn has caught back to the back of Sevrukin, and Sevrukin has caught right onto the tail of Evan Gilter. 4 drivers, and they all want that 4th place shot.
Yeah, Lindblad 1.2 seconds separating him and Kamara. This will update as they cross the line. Is it less than a second? No, it isn't. It's still
yellow flags. Yellow flags down at the bottom end of the circuit.
Who's that off?
Yeah, someone's gone. I think it's Arthur Rojon. No. I think we just saw him there. So Rojon walking away from his car, and I don't think he's the only one. I think we've also lost Ricardo Gracia. There he is. Ricardo Gracia for the Forza Racing team. The Brazilian not happy. So Ricardo Gracia walking away from the scene of his stricken expert chassis. And what a shame for the Forza Racing team. You can see there on the back straight, that is that Alfio Spina? Yes, it is. Alfio Spina is there sat on the back of the bank watching the race go on. But Yannick de Brabanda closing up on Martinius Stenshorn. And this is a great little tussle between the two of them as they race for 6th position. But is there going to be enough time for Lindblad to catch Kamara? The gap between them is now only 7/10 of a second. Lindblad is pushing hard here on the back of Kamara, and it's up to the Brazilian to hang on for dear life.
Yeah, 3 laps remaining. The Brit and the Brazilian are going to bring it down to the final lap. Lindblad, fastest lap. What do you expect? His pace is outstanding. 46.532. He's showing the pace on the track with the gap visually closing between him and Kamara. Lap after lap, corner after corner. Lindblad getting ever so closer to the driver ahead.
Yeah, Kamara can't match that pace. He's 0.4 of a second per lap down. So this is going to be Lindblad closing up with 2 to go, I think. They come across the line now. Antonelli across the line, and then Kamara and Lindblad, and now there's less than half a second in it. It's now or never for Arvid Lindblad, and he will be motivated. He wants to get past the Brazilian. Kamara is the championship leader. Even if Lindblad passes him, Kamara will still be the championship leader, but this is a state of intent for Lindblad. He wants to prove to Kamara, you have not got 2021 your whole way. I am a factor, and I'm going to get under your skin.
With only 2 laps remaining, if Lindblad wants any chance at that second position, he will have to throw caution to the wind, and that looks like that may be a mechanical for Kucharczyk. That's unfortunate to see. The 130 will have to come into the pits with 1 lap remaining of the race, and it looks like it will be last lap thrown for Antonelli, but Lindblad all over the back of Kamara. Let's see what happens here. As the drivers go down into turn 1, we'll go down into turn 2 now. Kamara just in front of Lindblad. Lindblad very close, less than a car width between the 2 drivers now as they go into turn 4. Lindblad, all his overtaking opportunities are going past him like the wind. How long is left, and where will he be able to do it?
The last lap of the last race of the weekend, so it's now up to Lindblad. He's only going to get 1 shot, and it's going to be the left-hander up the hill. Antonelli with the win. Here comes Kamara closing the door. Lindblad's going to try. He goes the long way round to to get the switch back on the undercut. Lindblad will try. He's not going to get an opportunity. Antonelli takes the checkered flag and wins at Onay-le-Bois. Who's going to be second? It's Kamara in front of Lindblad. What a fight, and what a way to finish the weekend in style. Antonelli, welcome back to the party.
Yeah, amazing drive there from Antonelli. 4.4 seconds ahead of anyone else in the field. If you want to dominate and make a statement, Antonelli, you've done that perfectly. Kamara just manages to beat Lindblad. One more lap and it may have been a different story.
Just masterful for Antonelli. That wasn't a win, that was a stakeout. He just completely checked away for the rest of the field. And that is how you win in dominant fashion in front of all comers and pretenders. This is a wonderful return to the top of the podium for Andrea Kimi Antonelli. If anybody doubted him in 2021, if you thought Genk was going to be a hallmark for the season ahead, you were wrong. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is here for the title, and he wants to win back-to-back European crowns. He's got a chance now, and it's better than ever before. So Andrea Kimi Antonelli with the win from Rafael Kamara and Arvid Lindblad. Artem Severukin and Yannick de Brabanda from Martini Stenchon, Yuga Chukwu and Evan Gilter. Finishing off the top 10, the Italians, Brando Badoa and Luigi Coluccio. Morgan Porter is 11th from Timothus Kucharczyk, Emili Koivisto and Bruno Del Pino, then Ruben Moya and Tuukka Tarpanen. Matthias Mogato 17th in front of Nicolas Pertolatti. Then it's Marlon Hernandez in front of Eduardo Villa, Joe Turney in front of Andrei Zhivnov, and then we have Igor Chepil, Gerard G, Ariel Elkin and Rentaro Sato. The retirements, Norton Andreasen out of the race on the final lap. And then unfortunately we also lost a fair few others. Ricardo Gracia, Arthur Rojon, Warren Kim. What could have happened in the race for Nicolas Solov? We'll never ever know. Hugo Besson, Alfio Spina and Caspian Hagman with the retirements on the first lap. 3 of them in total. Alfio Spina, Juho Valtonen and Rafael Modenese. What an amazing battle it's been. And what an incredible weekend here at Onay-le-Bois. Senior final here at Onay-le-Bois, the second round of 2021. What a sensational battle it has been. We'll welcome the drivers to the podium. In third position for the United Kingdom, Arvid Lindblad. An incredible fight back from Arvid Lindblad this weekend, from 8th on the grid to the podium, and rightly so. In second position for Brazil, Rafael Chaves Kamara. A great result, and he takes a strong lead in the Drivers' Championship heading to the third round. But your race winner for Italy, Andrea Kimi Antonelli! He's back, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome to the podium for representing the team, KART Republic Motorsport. Please welcome Pascal Polisi! And also we welcome to the podium the FIA Karting President to be part of the ceremony, Felipe Massa! And in deference to our race winner on the top step of the podium, the national anthem for Italy. Congratulations.